Today, we're tackling a question that haunts every product manager at some point. When is it time to kill a feature? You're watching Behind the Feature, where we get straight to solving product puzzles with tips you can actually use. Let's jump right in. So, I've been in your shoes. I'm a product marketing manager at Google, and I am holding on to features that just aren't adding value. And let me tell you, I've learned the hard way that killing features isn't just necessary, it's an art form. Since launching multiple products, here is my 5-step framework that's helped me make razor-sharp decisions about feature management. If you're serious about creating killer products, this might be the most important video you'll watch this month. Every great PM knows the game. User data is your North Star, but you're navigating through a battlefield of inputs. Executives want features, customers want solutions, competitors are watching your every move. Look at some of the legends who have nailed their niche. Uber, getting a ride anywhere, anytime. Spotify, delivering a personalized music library. Zomato, restaurant food delivered to your doorstep. So as your app grows, you'll accumulate this fancy baggage. You'll kind of create these features during a sprint planning, but they never connect with users. And knowing when to ruthlessly cut is important. So what is the 5-step framework? First, treat killing a feature like adding a feature. Vazgen Babian, Adobe's senior PM, who's famous for something unusual. He's a professional feature killer. Yes, you heard that right. While everyone's rushing to add more features, this guy successfully removed 3 major functionalities from Adobe's products. And guess what? Users actually loved it. Here's the $1 million insight. Removing a feature deserves the same attention as adding one. Think about it. When you're adding a feature, you plan everything. You create proper user guides. You make detailed roadmaps. You communicate clearly with users. You calculate all costs carefully. Babian suggests using this exact same approach when removing features. Whether you're a product manager or at a startup in Bangalore or building your own SaaS product, this mindset shift is crucial. So, in conclusion, both adding and removing features impact server costs. Both need user training and change management. Both affect your profitability, your bottom line, and both can make or break user trust. But here's what makes this relevant for the Indian market. We often hesitate to remove features because log kya kahenge. However, just like cleaning your laptop's hard drive makes it faster, cleaning your product makes it better. Remember, a successful feature removal done right can be as powerful as a successful feature launch. It's not about having more features, it's about having the right one. Second, identifying the right features to kill. Choosing which features to cut can be hard. So what are the 3 most important questions to be asked during this process? 1. Does this feature contribute to my app's core value? Make sure the feature directly relates back to the app's mission and value. Second, is anyone using it and does it contribute to their success? It's very important to stay true to your roots and take a look at how many users are actually using your app and whether these users are likely to stick around. Third, the cost. Just because an app feature is expensive to build and maintain doesn't mean it's a useless drain on finances. Likewise, just because a feature is cheap to keep around doesn't make it worthy to keep it past its expiration date. That's why you need to look at the total picture, when you think of doing it. If the answer to any of these questions is a no, then it may be time to clean your house. Co-founder of Mind the Product, Jana Basto explains. Before you go slashing apart your product, create a kill list of items you're thinking you'd be better without. Get a second or a third set of eyes and discuss why you'd like to sunset each item. Most likely it can be obvious, but be ready to talk about the cost of upkeep versus the benefit of keeping a fraction of users happy and which will make it difficult. I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios which you need to think of. First, the feature solves the right problem for users, but it's unsustainable. So although it deserves to be a part of the product, it's too expensive to deliver. The code base is unstable and causes bugs. It's overcomplicated. For example, Adobe's suite of Flash-based tools which were suffering growing compatibility. Spotify's native messaging capabilities which were eventually ditched in favor of integration with more popular standalone apps. Second, the feature solves the right problem for users, but it's not a problem that you wanted to solve. That is, the feature is useful, but it's not aligned with your product's vision. Take Workfront, for example, a time management tool. Its detailed time tracking tools were deemed to be out of sync with the general approach to time management, so they decided to kill the feature while suggesting third-party alternatives to users. The third, how to communicate the depreciation roadmap to users. Transparency is key. So I'm going to give you two concepts which are important to understand here. The first, end of service life, EOSL, the date from which a feature stops being updated and supported despite still being valuable. Second, end of life, the date upon which the feature is removed entirely, usually following a planned EOSL period which may cover several release cycles. These are some of my communication commandments. First, over communicate. Second, provide advance notice for all changes. Third, never delete user data without warning. What are some of the channels you can use? You can use in-app messaging, notification, email campaigns, customer support, proactive outreach, detailed feature depreciation landing page. What should this communication actually cover? Why you're depreciating it, the timeline, the migration path, and highlighting potential benefit to users because of depreciating. I'm going to share an example here. Google Reader was a go-to platform for users waiting to aggregate content from various websites seamlessly. But then in a shocking turn of events, Google announced it would shut down Google Reader on July 1st, 2013. Why? Despite its following, usage had dwindled as social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter took center stage. Google recognized that maintaining Reader was diverting resources from more promising projects that aligned with their evolving focus on user engagement. In their farewell message, Google acknowledged the disappointment of many users while emphasizing their commitment to innovation and efficiency. They encouraged users to export their data and explore alternatives like Feedly, which quickly rose to popularity given Reader's demise. This story actually serves as a reminder. It's a lesson in adaptability for companies striving to stay relevant. The fourth, how to wean users off features you're killing. So you've analyzed data and now you've decided it's time to kill the feature. So what now? Here are a few things you should consider before switching the off button completely. First, remove the feature for new users. Even before a planned EOSL, new users won't miss what they never had. Always segment out the deal with different use case, new or old user patterns separately as they require different approaches. Second, de-emphasize the feature in your UI. This can not only provide valuable data about how important the feature plan for retirement is to users, but it can help reduce the sense of loss for those who don't use it. It's like out of sight is out of mind. Remember Google Plus? No, you're not alone. But did you know Google once bet big on social media with a platform designed to rival Facebook? Google Plus launched in 2011 and let's just say, it didn't quite take off. Instead of pulling the plug instantly, Google took a different approach. They started quietly phasing out Google Plus. In 2014, they removed Google Plus profile pictures from Gmail. The change subtle, the impact huge. It was one of the first signs that Google was de-emphasizing this once prominent social network. Fast forward to 15, Google made a game-changing move. No more Google Plus required to comment on YouTube. Yep, that's right. You no longer had to be a Google Plus member to leave a comment. This was a huge deal for creators and users alike. And it didn't stop there. Google began quietly burying Google Plus in search results. No more Google Plus content popping up front and center. It was like a slow fade, but with a purpose. As time went on, Google kept removing Google Plus integration from their other services, Hangouts, Photos, you name it. Slowly but surely, Google was prepping its users for the inevitable. And in 2018, Google officially announced that Google Plus would shut down. By April 19, the service was gone for good. So what can we learn from Google's strategy? First, they gathered real user data. They tracked engagement to see which features users still found valuable. Second, they minimalized the shock for loyal users, slowly de-emphasizing rather than like an abrupt shutdown. And finally, they gave time for everyone to adjust. Google's approach might seem like a subtle one, but there's a lot that we can learn how they manage user expectation and data during the decline of Google+. For product managers, it's actually a masterclass in how to retire a feature without creating chaos. Facebook's approach to its event feature, very similar. Over time, they reduced the prominence of event notification and related features, shifting focus to more engaging things like posts and notification. Third scenario is don't just kill a feature, maybe try and find a way to replace it with something better. Perhaps this isn't viable in every case, but it's the best way to minimize the disruption. A good example of this tactic was how Microsoft communications around the retirement of Internet Explorer was heavily focused on the advantages of its replacement Edge. If you're replacing it with a new feature, then you should follow up with data too. Use the data that you gathered pre-cut as a benchmark for analyzing the user behavior after the cut. Track key performance indicators such as user engagement rates, support ticket volumes, NPS, feature adoption speed. Example, when HubSpot overhauled their social media tools, they actually had the old and new versions kind of running simultaneously until customers became used to the update. They measured the user's opt-out rate until it was down to single digits before completely killing the product. Finally, suggest alternatives and help users migrate if you don't plan on providing a feature in the future. Your users who depend on it will appreciate the recommendation on what to use instead. Indeed, it shows you care about their success even when it doesn't benefit you directly. But let me tell you, of course, winning their trust in this way does benefit you, right? The fifth, learning from this entire feature setting. By killing a feature is like breaking up. It's tough, but you learn something valuable every time. Let me break this down in a way that will actually help you. Remember what our parents always said, हार के भी जीतने वालों को बाजीगर कहते हैं. The same applies here. Every feature you remove is a masterclass in product management. So I'm just going to kind of summarize some of the key lessons. First, over-communication is just like your best friend. Just like you update your team's WhatsApp group, keep your users in the loop. No one likes surprises, especially your power users. Second, regular updates do build trust. Third, early user involvement. Get your users involved like you're planning a team project. Beta groups can actually be a great way to do it. Think of it as having your own product advisory board. Fourth, crystal clear transparency. Be straightforward like a Harsha Bogle commentary. Share the why behind the decision. Numbers and data speak louder than words. I'm actually wanting to share, as always, my favorite Indian companies who are doing this. Zerodha actually removes some complex features to keep their trading simple. Cred regularly refreshes its reward system. PhonePe keeps its UI clean by removing unused feature. Zomato switches very often. They actually put their search bar at the bottom. They realize it didn't work and then they put it back on top. So, feature removal is like gym training. Painful but necessary for growth. Users will feel the change, just like your muscles feel the burn. But with solid data, user empathy and clear communication, you can make the transition smoother. A lighter product is like a faster bike. It gets you to your destination quicker. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification button. It really helps the channel. Share your thoughts, questions in the comments below. I love to hear about how you approach tough decisions like this. If you found this helpful, please share it with someone who needs it because good advice deserves good company. I love hearing from you. See you next time. This is Disha from Behind the Feature, signing off.